welcome back to another episode of NFTs with Keys. I'm your boy Keys, and that's my man Rick. Say hi, Rick.
What up? How's it going, fam?
Today we're really gonna kind of keep it short, I think, unless we get really deep into this discussion we're gonna have. But I do want to kind of open it up with everyone out there. OpenSea's has been had a data breach, so everybody out there, your emails were stolen. So be aware of that. You're probably going to get some phishing emails out there in the next at all at any time from now until forever. OpenSea announced that this happened, I think this morning or earlier today or something. And so yeah, if you get an email from anything besides OpenSea.io, it's fake. Don't listen to it.
hmm
Don't fall for that. Don't lose your bored ape. You don't want to lose your bored ape if you got one. You don't want to end up like that, or any of your NFTs in general. That's really all I had to say on that. Just kind of PSA there, let everybody know, like, hey, this happened. Not like many people are watching at the moment, but those who are, I love you. But talking about bored apes, this came to my attention. Apparently, this was big news over the weekend. I must have just missed it, but
Right?
apparently there's a bored ape conspiracy, a Nazi conspiracy. Uh, I didn't watch the video. I know you said you did, Rick. So I'm gonna leave you to kind of lead the way on this one. But let's just say
Oh,
my overall view on it, from what I heard about it, it's the biggest stretch. It's a bit more stretchy and more stretched out than a Stretch Armstrong in the 90s. Let's be honest.
so I took the bullet for us, fam. Sat down and I watched it. And mind you, I'm not fully on the up and up of the internet lingo and everything, so I had to have a translator, and that translator's name was Asmongold, as we all know, who is very on the up and up of what's going on in this world, right? So watch the entire video. These are some of the stretchiest stretches that I've seen, but, and I quote my boy Asmongold on this one, you know, well, a couple of points is one thing, but when you start looking at all these points and they start drawing a line, then it starts to become a little coincidental. But we'll start off the path here. So even just like the Yuga Labs name or the Bored Ape Yacht Club kind of symbol there, all derived from some kind of inside white supremacist like internal jokes, right? And apparently, every facet of the Bored Ape is pulled from like white supremacy, and just to add some legitimacy, if you will, to their claims, they definitely had a couple people of color. Some excerpts from stuff that they're talking about where they kind of noticed that, hey, this Bored Ape symbolism's looking real white power here, and personally speaking. And I was talking to my producer Rob, about this one. When I look at these Bored Apes and I see them, I just have to say, but you didn't get that too? You guys don't see the obvious white supremacy that's going on there? I joke. It is the biggest stretch. It is the biggest stretch. Mind you, there are people that believe the Earth is flat. So, like, take
Yeah,
this with a grain of salt.
yeah,
But
yeah.
if you follow these breadcrumbs enough, it can be easy to say, yeah, what they're saying is probably right. But we're talking like the stretchiest of stretches. Like we're talking about instances where, and then when you see this particular Bored Ape and you look at it from the light to the left, you can clearly see an image that looks just like this one scene from the '90s show Captain Planet. And if you take that and you alter it a little bit more, what do you got? Two swastikas.
Yeah, I mean, some
I,
of the stuff, like,
you think I'm lying, but these are the stretches.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I believe it. But like some of the stuff that I saw from that website, though, I think I actually have it up here. So this is the website. They kind of go through some really big stretches here. Uh, where was this? Where you were talking about the logo. I've seen other companies use the logo like that before, so this isn't really shocking to see similar like that. But yeah, clearly. But I mean, like, think of the stretch there. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Or like the Yuga Labs name. Like, okay, like it's just it seems beyond uh unreasonable, you know, like it just seems like too much of a stretch. I didn't want to put myself through it, so I'm glad you put yourself through it to watch that uh, 2 hours of video or an hour or whatever it was. But it's kind of it's one of those things where it's like who if I don't believe it. I don't honestly believe it is. I think they just thought it was cool. You know, black is a favorite color of a lot of people. It's one of like I wear all black all the time. It doesn't make me a Nazi. It doesn't, you know, logos like that just things are at this point in 2022 things are going to get reused. The one I thought was a really kind of funny stretch was, oh, in the metaverse game that they created, the bananas were positioned to look like swastikas. It's like, seriously, like I didn't see it. So I mean, like, you're gonna see what you want to see. So I think people are just trying to to shit on Bored Apes in general because they're one of the stronger projects out there in the NFT space. Um, and that kind of makes me like wonder, like, who's doing this? Who's trying to kill one of the most successful NFT projects out there? Uh, I know Rob was saying he thinks it's probably some like Bitcoin maxi that's just mad that this is happening, and it's like, hey, that could be true. I don't know, you know. But that kind of leads into like our discussion is what what's gonna save NFTs? Because it seems like everybody's attacking them. We just had the last week with a bunch of bad news about NFTs. NFT projects aren't getting the momentum. Obviously, I mean, I even saw someone today on Twitter. I think it was my boy Rob, a different Rob, but he also was saying it's like why do we? He's like, I love ETH, but why do we tie NFTs to ETH? It should be tied to a stable coin because which is a whole nother thing that I kind of thought was funny, but it's like because the coin is so it's not stable. It goes up and down, which is kind of I think the draw to have it. So it's like one day your NFT could be worth, you know, $4, and the next, you know, a month later it could be worth 40,000, you know. So I think that there's kind of a NFTs are losing steam, I feel like, at least as we know them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think, me personally, I think what we need to do as a community in the NFT space, or just in general, is we need to not jump ship when times are tough. It's kind of like the old saying of "Don't quit when you're down." You know,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta pick yourself up by the bootstraps and keep marching forward. You know, let alone that's a little, I guess, that could be considered racist now or Nazi symbolism. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Oh yeah, that's
You
true.
know, like the kind of big callback there. But it's kind of like I'm not really sure. I did ask this question on Twitter, and this dude Shaker actually responded, and he's like, we will save it, or us will save it, and it's like, okay, but how? And then he basically said, being here, that's the way we can help by standing up in bad times, representing the community, and teaching the newcomers what we've learned. And he also believes in one of one art and for the whole collective, and basically that we're part of history being in it this early. And he's not wrong. I think it's a little too optimistic considering how much is hemorrhaging. But that's the thing is I think some of these projects are will survive as long as there's a core group behind them. But you know something we here at NFTs with Keys and Rob, you know, our producer believes in is NFTs need to have utility. They need to do more than just you look at a picture. You need to get something out of it, whether it you know it's like Bored Apes where you can have commercialization of it. So it's just a picture, so you don't have to do anything. You can just own it and have the clout, or you can sit there and make a show like Seth Green was trying to do, or open up Bored and Hungry like they did, you know, like capitalize on your NFT. So I'm kind of curious to what you think might be the way NFTs could be saved, or do we just jump ship and just abandon the NFTs, or do we just you know NFTs as art form just dies out and only the you know Beeples of the world and the Ferocious and of the world and all those other people who are made a really big killing and are really famous for their NFT art.
You know, when I think about this objectively, right, you have to ask yourself what really made the NFT go boom, right? And and when I when you look at it at the surface, like you want to say that it's the love for the artists, it's the love for the art, it's the love for the projects, but
Hmm.
I think we're starting to see this all truly dilute down to what I think it really comes down to, and that's the perceived value of the NFT that people are holding. So as these prices continue to plummet, we've got people's collections now being worth near nothing. They don't have the diamond hands to continue to hold. They're starting to lose confidence in these projects if they had confidence to begin with, right? And what confidence is this really? Is it the project's objective, or is it the how much this NFT is ultimately worth? And I think that's the kind of crossroads that we've come at this point. Uh, we're probably going, and if I'm right, then we're probably going to see a huge boom in NFTs again when Bitcoin starts to go above 30 and hit 40, 50K, because Ethereum's going to follow suit, which means NFTs are going to follow suit. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see people start picking up projects again, this, that, and the other. And then there's going to be more arguments to, oh, yeah, it was always about the art. Or, you people didn't have diamond hands. And I really think that's what it comes down to. So to answer your question, what could save the NFT? An increase of Ethereum going up by like $1,000 per coin. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it
But
kind of go.
realistically, utility.
Yeah, yeah, but kind of to go off of what you said, most people would assume though when the price of Ethereum goes down, it gives more people the opportunity to get into these projects that they couldn't before. I mean, someone who had
Sure.
2 grand last year couldn't buy a full Ethereum coin.
Oh,
Now
100%. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
they can buy almost two and hop into a project that might be worth, a full coin or even more, So you'd think that that would happen. I think a lot of this comes down to right now during this crypto winter, or as you guys said, Ice Age on the Crypto Bytes pod.
That's
Um,
right. Ice Age.
yeah, the crypto ice age. I think it really does come down to the global inflation that everyone's dealing with, and as you
Mm-hmm.
said, people are begrudgingly having to sell their NFTs. It's not that those people weren't diamond hands. It's when you're about to lose your house or your apartment or whatever, unless in 2 months, unless you sell your NFT and recoup some money. You know, what is it? Your house over your head where you sleep or a JPEG? People are gonna
Yeah,
pick.
right. Yeah, exactly. That Batman's looking real good, but I'm getting real hungry here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think that has to do with it. But I also do think part of the problem in NFTs is kind of like not what gamers have, it's kind of what gamers have always been saying or kind of perceived NFTs as is just a cash grab and just another, pay to win scheme or, just another thing to spend money on that, gamers hate. Gamers hate
Yeah.
in game purchases. Like when you spend $60 for a video game, you want the full game. You don't want to spend any more money than that. Or I guess like $80 now. But so I think big
Right.
corporations hopping into the NFT space actually hurt the NFT space a lot. And it kind of goes into too with celebrities entering the NFT space. When you look at, like the Jimmy Fallons and the Paris Hiltons, although I think Paris Hilton was actually in it, there was other things that she buys. She wasn't just buying a Bored Ape like some of these other famous
Mm-hmm.
people like Jimmy Fallon did. And it all kind of comes down to where MoonPay is the company who there was some leak stuff or some not conspiracy but kind of speculation that MoonPay was just loaning these Bored Apes out to these famous people and they're getting kickbacks so that they would drop, oh, I found it on MoonPay, this is where I got this Bored
Moonpay was
Ape.
brought up in that documentary.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, it's like I think that has to do with a lot where it kind of just turns off the space in general. Because I think now we as a community are seeing that, when you have Prada and Gucci and all these people, dropping NFTs and they're crazy expensive. And it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
sure, the high fashion people who can afford all that stuff will probably that are, crypto literate will probably buy those NFTs. but is that really good for our community? And I don't think it is. And I think a lot of the smaller artists that I've seen grow up, or not grow up, but like come up in the NFT space, they're starting to fizzle out and disappear. There's a few that I was following that I can't even find activity on their Twitter anymore. So it's
Oh
like,
wow.
where did they go? I mean, I don't know where they live. God forbid they were living in, Eastern Ukraine. And it's like, you
Oh
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened to some of these people. Like, but again, like the world is changing, not just with the war over there, but just in general with, coming out of COVID lockdowns and, you know, all this inflation that here in the states we're getting it a lot harder than other countries because other countries just played it right with the way they did things. But I think that has a lot to do with it. But when it comes to saving them, as we said, I do believe that utility, because who wants to just own a picture at this point? And I think because of this
Right.
crypto winter, or this crypto ice age, because you coined the term, uh, it's really what we're seeing now is people realizing that, yeah, the image is cool. I have clout, but clout doesn't get me anything. So,
Yeah.
it's like, so I think that's kind of what's happening. I mean, some of the projects, I know the CNFT or I hate that I just said that, but the Cardano community and their NFTs, they're doing pretty well. I know they have some NFTs that have come out that, are tied to like DEXs and, other stuff like that. And with DeFi, where you can stake the NFT to get extra crap, or whatever so that's kind of cool too. So that's thriving for, them. And I think if the all the rest of the NFTs out there, these new projects are opening up just trying to like cash grab and get some money and then dip out, but not really rug pull. Be like, well, I gave you what I told you I was giving you.
Yeah.
I think that's really where we're gonna be seeing the how NFTs get saved is with more utility, either, commercialization of them or, being able to stake them and get, other tokens. But like right now that is not really viable because of the way the crypto market is. Like starting a new coin now would be suicide. You know,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. I can see that. See that argument definitely.
and it's like, and part of me, I don't want to say NFTs as an art form should die because I like the art. It's kind of cool owning someone's art, especially if you get your hands on a one of one, whether that person becomes, the next Beeple or the next Michelangelo, it doesn't matter. You like it. Like I've always said,
Hmm.
is like, don't like 99% of all these NFTs are going to be worthless. It's only up to you to create the value in it because it's yours. You spent your money on it. It's what you wanted. So enjoy it. I think that's what it is too. I think a lot of people who boomed into the market were also stuck at
Ah.
home during COVID, got some free money from their government, and were like, oh, hey, I have all this extra money. I can start buying NFTs and getting into it and stuff like that. And I think that's really what's hurting it now is because those people were like, oh, this is how I'm going to make money. This is how I'm going to have generational wealth by having four bored apes. I mean, they're still worth a lot, so it is what it is. But, you know, I think a lot of people jumping ship, I mean, that's why we've seen the active usership just completely tank with NFTs. I also do think that NFTs might benefit moving away from art. Like
Yeah.
start seeing more like uh, music contracts. Record labels minting
You.
stuff for that.
I hate saying it like this, but I have a feeling that like I hate saying this, but if Meta succeeds and they create they truly get like the metaverse up and running, right? And they've got this awesome platform that's super easy to integrate with other companies,
Mhm.
then I guarantee the name of the game is going to be NFTs, and it's going to be NFTs that work in the metaverse that you can show off there that serve nothing more than digital clout. It's everything we're talking about that we hate, and that's what's going to save the NFT.
Eh,
Ugh.
yeah, yeah, no, especially NFT as an art form, but I do think if NFTs just in general want to grow, because you can't just, like that is one way for them to grow. And I do agree with you 100% outside of, more utility to give the holders something more than just the picture and the art. Um, yeah, I think that NFTs do need to be, I want to see more houses being sold and the deeds to the house being sold as an NFT. I want to see more of that. I don't know, maybe there's some like logistical issues, like, what happens when you sell the home because it's on the blockchain. I guess you could burn that token and then remint a new one, something like that. Like, so I don't know. I can see, or some, that's where I think there could be some shady stuff where it's like they never burned it. So technically you don't own it, but you just paid like $4 million for this giant mansion and you don't actually own it. So I think there is some issues there that need to be worked out. But, you know, as you said, I do agree. I think that unfortunately, if Meta does get a working metaverse where everyone's on it, uh, that is the only way really that I can see outside of, more utility for these NFTs to be saved. I mean, it's kind of sad because I don't think anyone likes Facebook or Meta, and that's
But they're the only people that have a chance besides like Twitter and their spaces to really create like a universal platform because I'm still of the school of thought that a successful metaverse is going to be something accessible from every outlet, from the computer to like the iPad to the phone, right?
yeah,
Like that's what it's going to be because it's not going to be about like playing a video game or anything like that. It's literally going to be about three-dimensional communication, right? Being in the same place and talking to the same person while seeing them. It's just adding a third dimension to communication, right? And it's the natural evolution to the web, but it's going to be used as an advertisement platform, as pure clout. Think of it like I don't know if you people are old enough, but like Chappelle's show when he went to the internet like live, that like just like that.
yeah,
Unfortunately, so when that's created, when the proper like environment's created, then the NFT will thrive. And I'm almost willing to bet that we're not even going to call it an NFT anymore. We're going to coin a completely different name for that. Probably like a meta property or some fun name that they're going to come up with at Facebook, right? But it will be an NFT
yeah,
for all intents and purposes. Everything that we know NFT today, but it won't be called an NFT because I believe the community has already coined the word NFT, and when I think of that, I immediately think of some JPEG art piece, and I think that's going to stick there. So whatever this turns into, NFT is not what it's going to be called, but it will be an NFT for all intents and purposes. And
yeah.
sadly, I think Facebook is the closest to getting us there.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. Unfortunately, I have to agree with that. Um, but yeah, so yeah, anybody out there, I want to know what you think. So drop a comment down below. Let us know. I want to know what you have to say about this, what your thoughts are. If we get some good comments, we'll touch down on it again. Maybe, open it up to something else. Um, but yeah, so you can go find me on Twitter at NFTs with Keys. Also, go follow and go like all of our heroes crypto stuff. Yeah, that's where mine is, down on that corner. Um, but yeah, so yeah, go follow my friends over at Our Heroes Crypto. That's Rob that runs that Twitter. So yeah, and then also I know you like to plug something at the end of my shows every time.
Oh, are we plugging it hard? I want to first and foremost say thank you to all of our viewers and everyone here. It is with a very, very proud and happy face here that I am pleased to announce that we are now in the 500K staked club. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You all brought us here, but we couldn't get here unless you decided that ADA is the route that you want to go. And if you just don't have $20,000 lying around to Bitcoin up, by all means, look into going and throwing into Cardano, buying some ADA while it's extra cheap. And if you do go that route, make sure you're taking your coins off the exchange, putting it in your own wallet, and staking it with AGC. Remember, AGC, we're a single stake pool operator with low saturation rates, which mean when we mint a block, you get maximum rewards. That's ticker AGC.
Yeah, and also to go to swanbitcoin.com/AGC for free $10 for Bitcoin. Hey, it's free $10. It's gonna go up at some point. It might not seem valuable now, but you know it's free. So hey, that's all I have for today. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We love you. Go comment, share this. Uh, Go message it to people. I don't know. Just put it out there. tag me on Twitter if you want to yell at me about something, or you want me to cover something, you want me to talk about something. I'm more than open to listen to you guys. So yeah, anyways, thank you again. Love y'all. Deuces.